women with invisible illnesses realize that you can still lead a pretty healthy and active lifestyle. It's just not going to be the one that you had envisioned for yourself, but the time is going to pass regardless. So you you better figure it the hell out because what else are you going to do? Trust me, sitting here feeling sorry for yourself, it's not going to solve anything. Speaking of not solving anything, sometimes you're just faced with an unchangeable situation. I'm kind of dealing with that right. Well, not kind of. I am dealing with that right now. I have something going on that I really don't have. I don't have any way to really influence it. I just have to accept whatever the outcome is, and really extra frustrated with it because I was supposed to get a resolution today, and I got put off until Monday. So I'm gonna try not to sit here and fret all weekend because it's not gonna change anything. It's not gonna change the outcome. It's not gonna make the situation any better. Just gonna make for a really, really long weekend. So I'm gonna try very hard to adopt what I'm about to tell you. But it's the truth. I was really upset when I was rescheduled, but it is what it is. I can't change it. I have to just deal with it. And uh, I need to lean on my faith. This is where my faith for it, personally speaking, this is where my faith comes in very handy because it's like, okay, God, I can't stress about this too much. I'm going to have to give it over to you. And it sounds really simplistic, but for those of you who believe, that can be really, really liberating. So, anyway, how do you change your attitude when you're faced with an unchangeable situation? This information, by the way, is from mindbodygreen.com. First, you need to understand you can't fix what you won't face. Why are you unhappy? The last couple years, everyone's like, well, it's COVID. Well, okay, COVID amplified things, but COVID's probably not why you're unhappy. There's a lot more to it than that. You need to really you need to really look at it because you know what? We can get into the habit of being unhappy. Isn't that crappy? But it's true. You get used to that biochemistry, and then when something changes, you're like, no, I need to go back to being unhappy because it's comfortable for you. Comfort zone can be a really crappy place for you to be. But you need to figure out why you're unhappy, and you know what else you need to do, and this is the hard part for people. You need to accept your role in the situation because you have a responsibility. No matter what other people are doing, no matter what is going on around you, you have a responsibility. How you have chosen to respond, how you have chosen the decisions that you've made, the choices that you've made. They they've all led you to where you are today. So if you're not happy, you really need to take a look at yourself. Um, the situation I'm facing, I know exactly what I could have done differently, and I could have probably not had to deal with this extra stress in my life. But you know what? I got lazy, and I chose to not be responsible for that for this specific area of my life, and now here I am, frankly, being a pawn in somebody else's game, and there's just nothing I can do about it. But you know what? That brings me to my next point. Guess what? Happiness is largely a choice. It really is. Our attitude is the result of our perception of our experiences. What does that mean? Well, because two people can go through the same thing and have I realize a movie is oversimplifying it, but you and I could go to the movies together. We could sit right next to each other, watch the exact same movie. We could even share a tub of popcorn. And one of us could walk out going, oh my God, that was the best movie I've ever seen in my life, and just teary and emotional. And the other person would be like, that was the biggest load of crap. It was the same movie. But each person has their own your values, your perception. All of that is going to impact how things impact you. I'm on a roll with my word choice tonight. But there are few situations truly that are completely hopeless. It's up to you to find the positives. Now, is that easy? No, it's not. But find the positives, and you know what? Write them down. If you're struggling with a really tough situation and you don't see any way out, you're going to have to find something positive to hang your hat on. Excuse me. And the reason you need to write them down is so you can refer back to that pretty easily if you need to. Words matter. Those of us of a certain age will remember the old Canon camera commercials with Andre Agassi. That was a lot of C's and A's. But attitude really is everything. Don't tell yourself crap like, "Well, I can't." Well, no, then you can't because you've already decided that you can't. Oh, it's hopeless. I don't want to tell you nothing's ever. I mean, there's always some glimmer of hope. Maybe I remember when my aunt was dying, and then later when my mom was dying, that nothing's hopeless kind of pissed me off. But you know what? There is hope. There's hope that they can pass peacefully. There's hope that the family can come together, and there's hope that there's going to be a lot of love and support for each other. You've got to find the silver lining. Look, when my aunt passed, at that time it was the biggest loss I'd faced in my life, and it sucked. Eh, But but some really good things came of it. My cousin and his wife came up to visit. I had met his wife, but I hadn't gotten a chance to know her, and I got to spend a little time with her when they were here. You know what? She's an amazing young lady, and I think young lady. She's not that much younger than I am, but I think really highly of her. Um, my sister-in-law, my brother and sister-in-law have been married for, gosh, I don't know, forever. It seems like, and we've always been pretty close. But I got to tell you, when we went through my aunt's stuff, which is a heartbreaking job, just it's horrible. If you've never had to do it, you're lucky. But we were going through her stuff, and it deepened our relationship. I would have never thought possible how much it improved our relationship. But I made a point to look for the bright spots in there. I have to. I'm just that kind of person. I have to find something positive to latch onto, or my attitude sinks and I'm screwed. Don't tell yourself something's impossible. There's very few things in this world that are truly impossible. You need to tell yourself, you know what, this is tough, but I'm smart and I'm gonna figure this out. This might be really challenging, but that person did it. So it's obviously doable. Tell yourself you got this. Quit telling yourself that everything's so hard. Tell yourself you got this. You know what? Maybe shit is hard. But those challenges, that's what gives you character. It's how we rise to meet these things. That's what gives us character. Our strength comes from our struggle. I'm reading a book right now called The 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth by John C. Maxwell. It's an incredible book. I highly, highly recommend it. But chapter 8 is the law of pain. And the chapter is basically about taking responsibility, about, it would be easy for somebody in my situation with all these health problems. I mean, it's ridiculous. It is so ridiculous. It would be really easy for me to sit here and just boo-hoo and feel sorry for myself, but I don't want to live like that. I choose to tell myself, you know what, it's kind of a tough day, but my track record for getting through tough days so far is pretty damned good, and I got this. You have to talk positively to yourself. The ubiquitous they say we have like 70,000 thoughts a day. And for a lot of us, we have a lot of unconscious negative thoughts going on in our head. So you're bombarding yourself in negativity all day. You have to become aware of that inner voice. You have to gain control over that. Anyway, when you're dealing with an unchangeable situation, you have to find some positive influences. Are your friends too negative? You know what? At one point, my friends were all very negative. Why? Because I was very negative, and happy people don't want to hang out with negative people because they're just bummers. Nobody wants to hang around with you if all you do is bitch and moan all the time. But if that's the situation you're in, because I've been there, you know what you can do? You've got the damn internet at your fingertips. Go out there and find you some people who have the same interests that you do, and build yourself a little community. Build yourself a little tribe of people that are your people, that are going to be there to lift you up. Find a mentor from afar. My mentor is the most amazing person, and I adore him. I've never met his. Actually, I've never met him either, come to think of it. I've seen them at events, but he's an amazing guy. I freaking love his wife. I think they're one of the coolest, cutest couples. He lives in Nebraska. I've never met him. We talk a lot, but I've never met him. I tell you what, he's one of my biggest damn supporters and really grateful I have him in my corner. But you can immerse yourself in positive messaging. Go buy some good books. Hell, go check them if you're not ready to make that investment. Go to the library and borrow them. But something that uplifts you. There's a ton of great podcasts and YouTube channels out there that are going to lift you up. Just spend 10 or 15 minutes a day doing something like that that's really positive, whether it be reading or listening or watching, but get a positive message in front of you. I like to do it in the morning because I really truly believe it sets my day. It puts my day into a better. I'm having a hard time today. It puts my mind into a better place to face my day. You know what? Affirmations work. They're cheesy, sure, but you know what? They've been around a long time because they're effective. Find a mantra or a quote and post it where you're going to see it often. I used to have one behind my desk, and the way my desk was, it had like this little ledge, and nobody could see what was on there unless they came around into my space. Which don't be in my space unless they really like you. But I had a little sign up there for a long time that said, "You never know how strong you are until strong is your only choice." And for years, that's what got me through the really challenging days because it took a long. I didn't have somebody when I was first diagnosed. I didn't have somebody to look to tell me, hey, you know what? Yeah, you got kind of a raw deal, but here's some of the things that you should be doing to make yourself feel better, to make yourself feel like you have more control. I would have loved that. But I couldn't find anybody like that. Which, side note, is why I do these videos, because there's somebody out there who's in that damn same position and they need this. And that's why I do it. But anyway, find a mantra or saying that means something to you. Post it. Put it on your phone. Put a sticky note on your rearview mirror. I mean, on your damn it, on your visor. Maybe on your bathroom mirror. You know what? A really big one for me is it's so simple. It's just so simple and it's kind of silly. Just keep swimming. On a really tough day when I am struggling to get through the things that I absolutely have to get done, I tell myself, just keep swimming, just keep swimming. And yes, it is from Finding Nemo. But it doesn't matter where it comes from as long as it helps you. You know what's funny? I don't swim. But another really good one, I stole this from one of my former mentors. When that inner voice starts, tell yourself that's not true because it's not true. And logically, you know it's not true. Another good tip is to take some words or phrases, things that you aspire to, and set alarms in your phone so that once a day that alarm goes off. And for me, focused. Hey, I need to remember to be focused today. I need to remember to be healthy today. I need to remember to be teachable today. Whatever you want to work on. Maybe you want to be more vibrant. Maybe you just want to be more, I don't know, whatever the hell speaks to you. But if you set that alarm in your phone, when it goes off, you'll look at it like, oh, am I working towards that today? Is what I'm doing today moving me towards being more focused, but towards being more present, being healthier, whatever it is for you. Those little alarms, it's amazing what that can do for you. Bonus tip, get off your ass and exercise. Look, if my sickly ass can get up and exercise, I don't even want to hear it. I don't want to hear it from people. If you choose not to, that's fine. That's your choice. That's personal decision. I think you're really missing out on an incredible stress reliever. But that's your choice. But you know what exercise can do for you? It helps you learn how to be present and focused. It's excellent self-care. It reduces stress. It boosts your confidence. It helps you learn how to set goals and it helps it, you start reaching those goals and you realize that you can take that That attitude of, "Hey, look, if I've grown here, if I've come this far in my fitness, what can I do in the rest of my life?" For a lot of people, actually, fitness turns into it's a stepping stone for I don't know what you wanna call it, growth, development, whatever the hell you wanna call it. But fitness does that for a lot of people. It did it for me because I did look like, wow, y'all, at one point, I was so sickly, I couldn't even do 10 minutes on a Wii Fit. Well, I could, but it was barely. And there were a lot of times after that 10 minutes, that's a freaking kid's toy. And sometimes after that 10 minutes, I would be laying in my living room floor crying because my body hurt so bad. Let me tell you what, when you're like 40, because yeah, I was about late 30s, early 40s. You know how freaking scary that is to be so unhealthy that you can't do 10 minutes on a child's toy? It's pretty freaking it's pretty alarming. But you know what? I used that Wii Fit and I stayed with it 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. I did it all the way until I was up to an hour a day. And once I could do an hour on my Wii Fit, I moved into other things that I wanted to do health and fitness wise. Now, has it been an easy journey? Absolutely not. My health sucks. I'm not that good at the nutrition part of it. I'm just really honest with you. I'm not. I have a lot of issues around food. Um, but in a lot of ways, all this started with me going from being really negative to being a positive person. All started with that silly little damn toy. So you should just exercise anyways. It's really good for you. But that's all I have. Well, it's just the last few weeks, I really try to be positive and I try to always be sunny and my attitude really truly is, well, you know what? If today sucked, tomorrow's probably gonna be better. And if tomorrow's not better, well, there's always the next day. I'm on week 3 of a severe flare. And the problem is my body gets this flared up. My anxiety goes up. And when my anxiety goes up, the pain goes up. And then the insomnia goes up, and then the anxiety and the pain and the insomnia. It's just this freaking disastrous, excuse me, shit show. And I'm kind of just feel like I'm standing in the middle of the whirlwind begging it to stop. But it is what it is. And sitting here feeling sorry for myself, it's not going to change any of it. My situation I was telling y'all about at the beginning of this. I'm not gonna lie, I cried about it today a couple of times because it's literally gonna have an impact on my entire life. And there's very little that I can do about it. That was a really sobering and overwhelming feeling. But again, I have a responsibility. I could have done things a lot differently and had a different outcome for this. And instead, I just have to wait till Monday and see what my fate's gonna be. So, I know that sounds really mysterious, but, it's just not something I'm gonna put on social media, so too bad. Tough shit you don't get to know. But that's all I have for today. Excuse my language. I actually put up an apology on my Twitter. I try really hard not to cuss a lot on my social media. Now, if you know me, I cuss a lot in real life. That's the biggest difference between my social media presence and my physical presence. I cuss a lot in real life, but it's something that I know it's not ladylike. I don't think it's attractive. It's not a good habit. And I'm really trying to rein it in. But man, I have just been the last few weeks, I just don't have the reserves to really care that much. I shouldn't say I don't care that much. I just don't care enough to try. So yesterday I was on my because Twitter's the only place I spend any time. Like, I'm really sorry. I've been so bitchy and I've said so many F bombs but I'm entitled to have my off days. I just hope it ends soon because 3 freaking weeks of off days is too damn long. But I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend. Um, God, I don't even know what the hell else I was going to say. I can't remember how I usually close these because I am that tired. No, I don't have the Rona. I'm just tired and I need a drink of water. So I'm gonna go. Hope you guys have a great weekend. God, I sound really awful. You have any questions? Look, all I know is I used to be severely depressed and I hated the world. I had a completely shitty attitude. And now I'm known as somebody who's really positive. And when I was going into work all the time, I've been really blessed to work remote lately. But when I was going to the office all the time, people that didn't even know me very well used to come and see me and they would sit down and say, I'm not having a very good day. And I know you're going to have something pleasant to say. That's a pretty flippin' good compliment in my eyes. And if I can make that change, anyone can. So if you're stuck, drop me a line on Twitter at Alaskan Courtney. I try to be very responsive and I would be more than happy to share with you some of the resources that really helped me change my life. You're still going to have to do the work though. It doesn't matter how many podcasts you listen to. It doesn't matter how many books you read. It doesn't matter how many courses you buy. If you're not going to do the work, ain't nothing going to change. So anyway, y'all have a great weekend. I'll be back Monday at 5 o'clock Alaska time. Thanks. Bye.